Now for a review of what's making the headlines in the papers this morning, Dr. Austin Shomaka Maho is now joining me in the studio. Dr. Maho is a lecturer at the International Institute of Journalism and a member Nigerian Guild of Editors. Great to have you join us this morning on Daybreak.
My pleasure to be here, Tolu.
Very quickly, let's start off as soon as we get our sister paper, which is this day. We'll get you that. But then let's start with the Saturday Sun. Northern governors, senators mobilize against Tinubu. That's on Saturday Sun. That's the screaming headline. Tax bills. Northern governors, senators mobilize against Tinubu. It's got two writers, economists, development experts differ over proposed tax laws. And then the second writer, Tinubu's tax policies meant to develop Southwest. That's quoting Professor Yusuf right there. And then lessons Nigeria can learn from U.S. presidential election, O.G. Kalu. Why I never play romantic sexual roles. That's Joke Silver right there. You may want to check out Saturday Sun if you've been wondering why she's been very selective in the roles she plays in movies. And of course, what the northern governors and senators are planning against the president, why they're grouping against the president. Okay, very quickly, Saturday Punch. South Africa, 7 countries queue to lift Dango Refinery fuel. South Africa, 7 countries queue to lift Dango Refinery fuel. It's got a rider. Marketers await NMDPR raise approval for import license. That's right there. And on top of that, you have minimum wage workers decry hardship as 7 states delay approval. Grid collapses, states ramp up plans for power plants. What about that? And then something from Davido right there. Remember, it's Saturday. Fans divided over Davido, Wizkid, Burna Boy's Grammy nominations. Fans divided over Davido, Wizkid, Burna Boy's Grammy nominations. You've got it on Saturday Punch today. You may want to check it out. Heartbreaking tales of Lagos street sweepers denied minimum wage. What about that? And then my son hit his head against a concrete floor after 40 canes. That's 150 frog jams that slain Ogun Pupil's father. Lamenting right there. Missing womb. Imagine how fibroid surgery turned awry for Lagos couple. Why don't you check out that? Federal government renovates vice president's Lagos residence with 5 billion naira. Federal government renovates vice president's Lagos residence with 5 billion naira. That's tucked away down at the bottom of Saturday Punch. Tucked away right there. You don't want to miss it, do you? Okay, from the Punch, let's quickly see how many others we can have. The Guardian. Energy crisis in Ivory Towers. Energy crisis in Ivory Towers. Why dearth of innovative solutions persists. Why dearth of innovative solutions persists. That's talking about energy crisis in Ivory Towers. That's the screaming headline right on the front page of The Guardian this morning. Let's quickly also see some foreign newspapers. What about The Guardian? Foreign Guardian. Trump, the second act. This will be an imperial presidency. Ukraine fears relations with UK have worsened. What about that? Foreign Guardian this morning will tell you all about that. UN says 70% killed in Gaza are women and children. So MPs call for immediate regulation of therapies. So very quickly, let me move very quickly to our guest this morning. Doctor, you saw that screaming headline on the front page of the Sun. My producer had to go. After I'd seen that, my producer had to call my attention to it. Like, have you seen what on the front page of the Guardian, of the Sun, the Saturday Sun? Northern governors, senators, mobilizing against Tinubu on tax bills. I mean, how did you get here?
How did we get here? We got here when Mr. President embarked on his tax reform bill. You know, he presented about 4 bills to the National Assembly for consideration and passing into law. And according to the wisdom of Mr. President, the bill is actually supposed to reform, you know, Nigerian tax system, remove double taxation where it exists, and of course, you know, according to them also, to kind of align our tax regime to be in tandem with global best practices. However, especially as it has to do with VAT, that's the value-added tax, a lot of the northern part of the country, they've raised eyebrow. They've said that, if you look at the headline, they've said that, look, this tax reform bill is not in our interest. It's a way of taking money from a productive sector and putting it in the hands of those who didn't really add value. You know, they'll be the one benefiting from VAT. And that's why many northern leaders, senators, and House of Rep members in the National Assembly have risen against it in protest because they feel that Lagos, mostly Lagos, Ogun, Southwest generally, they form the productive hub of the country. So in a situation whereby you have goods, especially agricultural products, which are not, you don't calculate VAT based on them because there's really no value addition. They end up in Lagos and they are used for productive activity. And the tax reform bill is saying, look, it is the head offices of these companies that are using most of the raw materials that come from other parts of the country, especially from the northern part of the country, that we enjoy the VAT. So it's more like, look, monkey they walk, babu they chop.
Okay,
as they say in local
Paris.
Paris. So that's why they are raising eyebrow.
Yeah, we're trying to manage the time, Doctor. But yet again, is this then the beginning of a lost popularity with the northern governors and senators? Is the president beginning to lose popularity with them?
Yeah, I won't say that far. What I would say rather is that the bill as it is, if a large chunk of senators and House legislators in the National Assembly, if they kick against the bill, there's no way that bill will see the light of day. It won't be able to pass through the National Assembly. So it's dead. It's more like you say dead on arrival. Except Mr. President is able to take them into confidence and, of course, look for a political solution to it in such a way that maybe there are some amendments they can make to the tax reform bill in such a way that is agreeable, create a win-win situation that they can buy into and allow it to pass.
Okay, now let's quickly move to Saturday Punch. The front page of the Saturday Punch has something very interesting yet again. South Africa, 7 countries queue to lift Dangote Refinery fuel. South Africa, 7 countries queue to lift Dangote Refinery fuel. Now, we don't have enough at home. We're still clamoring for for a better regulated fuel price, and we're still groaning, so to speak, and yet other countries are queuing to take from us. I mean, something, as we say in Nigerian parlance, it doesn't look balanced.
It doesn't. It doesn't look balanced to the extent that, look, the issue about energy security is critical to any nation. Energy security. When we talk about fuel and the prices, we should always put that in mind. And when it comes to energy security as a nation, I think our drive should be affordability and availability.
Yeah.
So what Dangote Refinery has been able to solve for us as a nation is to create that leeway for availability. We don't need to import fuel anymore. We have domestic capacity to be able to meet a significant portion of our energy demand, which is good. However, it is the affordability factor that a lot of people are looking at. And that's why you are seeing this controversy between the NNPC, Dangote, the regulatory body, which is NUPRIC. And of course, you know, Dangote is not happy about it. So Dangote actually, the refinery of Dangote is actually cited in a free trade zone. We always have to remember that. And Dangote is at liberty to sell at whatever price to anybody he wants to sell to, be they from South Africa, from the adjoining sub-region, or even into the international market. If the marketers, they are projecting, feel that, look, we can get fuel into Nigerians' market at a cheaper rate, more than Dangote is selling to us, so be it. It's a free market as it is now, because I'm buying fuel at the same rate as somebody in London, somebody in New York, somebody in Berlin, or any part of the world. So the issue of, as long as we deal with the issue of availability and affordability, I don't think we should cry. It's a deregulated environment. So the market forces take precedence.
Right, the forces of demand and supply.
Yes.
Okay, now the great collapse, states ramp up plans for power plants. Some would say that's been long overdue, you know. What are your thoughts about allowing states to generate their own power?
I think it's a step in the right direction. Instead of consistently talking about the inefficiency of the TCN and their inability to manage national transmission line, there's a need to break it down. We can't be consistently talking about grid collapse. We've had about 11 national grid collapse in the last 10 months, which is an embarrassment. TCN should be embarrassed, and that's why a lot of people have called for the sack of the Minister of Power, because he seems to be incapable of managing the situation. What Nigeria needs is power. And and of course, let's not forget again that, look, power has been removed from the exclusive legislative list. It has become states. It's no longer in the exclusive legislative list. States now have the power to generate power and to distribute power. So we want to see more states taking advantage of these constitutional changes to be able to generate and transmit power within their region. So we should actually be talking about not just the national grid, we should be talking about regional grid, we should be talking about state grid. If you can generate, transmit within your state, so be it. Win-win for everybody.
Let me quickly weave that into the front page of the Guardian, the local Guardian. Energy crisis and ivory towers. Wide dearth of innovative solutions persists. Wide dearth of innovative solutions persists. What are your recommendations? We're talking about innovative solutions.
No. Innovative solution. I like that word that Guardian used. When you use the word innovative solution, you understand. Our ivory tower, our universities are supposed to be centers of problem solving. They are supposed to be the arrowhead. They are supposed to be research centers that look into a problem and come up with innovative solution to this problem. But when you now find out that our ivory towers, which are supposed to be centers of solutions, they cannot even solve their own problem, it calls to question, the curriculum of these institutions. What are you doing if you cannot provide alternative solution to power, our universities? So what solution, if you cannot solve your problem, what solution can you give to Nigeria as a country in solving our national problem? I think that's where although I've not fully read the story, I think that's where you're coming from. Yes, I think that's where the devil is in the detail. Universities, our ivory towers are supposed to be solution center. And if really they are solution centers, they should be able to not just profile solution to our national problem, but solution to their own internal problem, and thereby now, kind of build on it and be able to provide solution to our national problem. But where they fail is a national failure, and whatever curriculum they are teaching in this ivory tower should be called to question.
Okay, my producer just told me 1 minute. 1 minute. Okay, now foreign Guardian, Trump, the second act. That's how they tagged it. This will be an impartial presidency. Quickly tell me what you foresee in his reaction to Ukraine and Russia, because some have said the Biden administration took sides and made it very obvious. So what do you foresee Trump doing? Having promised, bear in mind that it says it's going to end the war in 1 day.
I think the war in Ukraine has been a catastrophe, not just for Europe, for the whole of the world, because, many of Ukraine agricultural production have played a significant part in the reduction of global hunger, because grain supply from Ukraine has been halted as a result of the war. And And as it is now, with Trump coming into power, Ukraine need to be concerned because the support they have gotten from the United States may dry up. Because if Trump is saying, look, I want to stop the war, stopping the war means I will no longer supply Ukraine weapons to prosecute its war with Russia. And I think it is the way to go. The war cannot continue endlessly. When we look down the line, 5 years, 10 years, do we want the Russia-Ukraine war to continue? Certainly not. There has to be an end game. And if Trump says, look, I will end this war, it's for the benefit of humanity, because there has always been this fear of escalation of the war that will engulf the whole of Europe and the whole of the world, which is not good for anybody. So if the war must come to an end, I think Vladimir Zelensky should be on the table. Everybody should come, whether you are negotiating from a position of strength or from a position of weakness. You can't be fighting. Ukraine cannot be fighting a war against Russia and depends on weapons from Europe, from America, to prosecute that war. And that's why a lot of people have said, look, it's a proxy war. And if those pushing you to fight a proxy war against your neighbor say, we are no longer supporting you, it means you're on your own. So the best thing is to look for the best solution that favors your country and the rest of the world.
Thank
so
you
that
very
we
much.
can have global peace.
Dr. Austin Maho, we want to say a big thank you to you for joining us on Daybreak, and a big thank you to my producer.